Hello everybody, and welcome back to Paddling Pool 355. My name is Matt, also known as Matthew Mega, and I'm here with Moku, and we have a little bit of a later start to Paddling Pool, but we are here nonetheless. Our first starting match is in Losers Bracket. Round 3, we have Oingo Boingo Brothers up against the Irish Monarchy. Moku, how are you feeling about this?
I'm hyped up. I'm ready for a tournament on this beautiful day, starting with Clam Blitz on Cargo Hold. I keep forgetting the name of the
That's ship shape.
ship shake Cargo Co. Okay. I just me with the full names every time. I can't just call something decaf. It's gotta be mint decaf. So how about you?
So,
How
going
you
into
feeling?
Going into this, starting off, we do have Clanblitz on Shipshape, which is a bit of a more interesting one. We don't see Shipshape clams too often, to say the least. Typically, we would see something like Tower Control or Zones with Shipshape. But for anyone who's really familiar with this map, it's very big on lockout areas, but it's also very hard to push on this map. So these teams are going to have to make their pushes worthwhile if they want to win this. Because it's either you got to go in an uninkable area or you got to go on this little block, which leaves you very vulnerable to the enemy. So we're going to have to see how these teams are going to approach that. And really, they got to make these pushes worth it. Because if they don't, then it's going to give the opening for the enemy team to push in.
I'm liking the comps, and with Dynamo on Oingo Boingo Brothers team. Dynamo Roller has just been harder to fight recently as both the teams make it beeline for the tower. I was going to say zone. Burst Bomb with Tree Rex here, taking up space and sharking.
We do see that crab ready, and they are going to be deploying it. We see Oingo Boingo. They have that tacticooler. They have the chance that they can to really start being a little bit more aggressive, but they really can't with that crab in the way, which is going to put a stop to them. And we do see their blaster. We do see the blaster going down there, but we do see some trades on the board. But the Irish Monarchy seems to be trying to push that tower ahead, as the members of Oingo Boingo Brothers are kind of grouped up there, but they do end up getting 3 down, and now going to be pushing back into mid and starting a push of their own.
Indeed, and it's a really good push too, getting a tower for themselves and finally getting a point on the board. The Irish Monarchy does have the most map control, so we're going to see how it plays out here. They take the tower once again, and they're moving up, going for that lockout.
Yeah, we see them being very aggressive, but the pen able to pick out 2. That's going to be huge. That's going to give them the chance to really push back in here and try to take as much space as possible, basically doing exactly what the Irish Monarchy was doing. They want to take all this space, and we see how the members of Oingo Boingo are really already pushed up there. They're able to get the pick off of the Dynamo, but the crab is going to cause them a little bit of trouble. We do see that Zip as they approach that first checkpoint.
PK with the Zipcaster, masterful work there. I don't know if they got a pick, but one going down here on tower. It is a massacre. 2v2, 1v2. Size advantage goes to Irish Monarchy as they take the tower again. One of them's kind of weak over there. Dynamo Roar keeping the space.
They had that cooler. They want to push in with it. There goes that blaster, but the Gal able to get some trades, try to even it out a little bit. Down to a 2v2, but they aren't able to push that tower. The Rabbit gets taken out there, and the Stamper's gonna get taken out by that by the Sputtershot Pro. And the members of Oingo Boingo really are putting a stop to these pushes. The score has been very close, and these teams have been very back-to-back. We see Irish Monarchy attempting to push up here with that whale, but not going to be doing much there. We see that Rapid go down, and this blaster really causing a lot of trouble for them.
Indeed, and it doesn't really help that Blaster was caught up in the purple ink here, which happens plenty of times to brush mains, cough cough me, but jokes aside, this is a pretty good pushback. Both teams have treated this like a tug of war, and it's worked out well, but the 3-point difference, we'll only have one winner here, with Dynamo getting caught out.
Now we see this Gal trying to move up there, making sure that the Irish Monarchy does not pass that first checkpoint. Their splash gets taken out, and that's the crab out of the way. So they're gonna have to be careful here. The Gal trying to push up, trying to get whatever picks that they can, but they do still want to play safe. They want to stay safe here. They want to play alive. They can't afford to go down here, as Oingo Boingo Brothers are barely just going 2 down there, and they aren't able to pass that checkpoint in time. And we see TK on that Stamper getting the picks that they need and really creating a lot of space for their team to move forward here, as they're immediately going to be pushing the tower back into that first checkpoint.
PK and Treerex doing their best and succeeding to get space for themselves as 1 goes down, 2 goes down. On the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers, Irish Monarchy expanding their territory as Highland goes down, and Zipcaster comes out, but goes down to a person. I don't remember. I don't know what weapon it was.
That was an Autobomb that took him out there.
Oh, that was a chicken. It was a chicken, okay.
We see Irish Monarchy taking a bit more of a push than the Oingo Boingos did. Able to get past that first checkpoint is going to be huge there, and we're down just less than a minute in this match, and it's been very close with these scores. We see that cooler going down there, making sure they stay up, even if they do go down that 1 second respawn time, really going to help them out here. They want to take that tower, 2 down on the side of Irish Monarchy, and 3 down, and now this is their chance for Oingo Boingo to make a comeback, as they're able to really get past that first checkpoint now.
We're seeing the buffs out here with their teammate guarding tower. TK out here on the Wiper, going down to Crab and losing the lead. Oingo Boingo Brothers taking the lead for themselves with a little, just at directly 10 seconds to the rest of the battle till the end.
They want to keep that tower into their base, make sure to give themselves some more time, even if they do push back here. Overtime has begun. We see this pen getting another pick, and that is going to be game number 1, and that's going to be going to Oingo Boingo Brothers.
Excellent work, both teams so far. That had me at the edge of my seat. It was a very intense battle of tug of war. I really love back and forth battles like this, just keeping you guessing. What stood out to you from the last battle?
I mean, we saw how back and forth they were. I mean, both of these teams were very close in score. Even at the end of the game, it was only a 6-point lead to steal the deal. But especially early match, I mean, even just the first minute, barely any pushes was happening, and it was really just a standstill for the majority of it. We saw Irish Monarchy able to take their first push there, that Crab really helping them out there. But the members of Oingo Boingo were really able to just delay them enough to make sure they wouldn't get a super far lead, so that when it did come their time to push, they would be able to take the lead right away. In these last 20 seconds, they were able to do exactly that, getting the picks that they needed, able to cross that lead down to 45, and with 3 down and 15 seconds remaining, there wasn't much time to really try to formulate any kind of pushback. They just had to rush it. They didn't have any specials ready at all, and that pretty much sealed the deal and gave Oingo Boingo that first victory.
That's a great analysis there. I agree with you on every point. I couldn't have said it better myself.
So going into this second match, we have another Clan Blitz. So a double Clan Blitz, bit of a more uncommon thing we see here. Not many people love Clan Blitz in general. So seeing more Clan Blitz and Splat Zones in this set, a little bit surprising, but we're going to be going for Clams on Museum this time. So a bit of a different approach, but definitely a little bit easier to push in on this map. People are a little bit more familiar. There's 2 sides you can push in on. One's a little bit more risky than the other, but gives you a really easy point to throw in that clam. So going to be interesting. Going to be a lot easier for these 2 teams to push. So we could potentially see lower power games here.
Indeed we could, and we're going to keep Pencil on the side of Irish Monarchy, or is that, I don't know if the colors changed. Oingo Boingo Brothers, my apologies.
So Oingo Boingo in the blue, Irish Monarchy in the yellow or orange, immediately pushing up both of these teams, trying to take mid control. We see some picks going back to back. That bucket barely staying alive in that corner. The Crab putting a lot of pressure on them, able to put down that tactical for the Irish Monarchy. They want to push in here. They want to get as much space. The more space you have here, the more clams you can get. So both of these teams, they want to take these aggressive approaches, and that Dynamo is really going to help them out.
Indeed, and very nice base invasion, and unfortunately going down to Splatana Wiper on the Zipcaster. TK out here making space for a team, nearly avoiding an exploding chicken. That's why I call the Autobombs. They look like little chickens, don't they?
They do. And I mean, they're deadly chickens, to say the least. We saw how well they were used in this last match. So, showing them up here, it's definitely a good approach. We see that cooler down on the side of Oingo Boingo. They want to push up here, but the Bucket and the Stamper are putting a lot of pressure on them. These two extremely good front lines, putting up so much pressure. There goes that pen. That's going to be really big for them. That Blaster trying to show that Bucket up. Gal goes down, and we do see they want to get that. We do have that Power Climb finally back online here. They almost have Tri-Strikes ready too.
Indeed, and Tri-Strikes are coming out here. They're scheming over here, trying to get up there, but Tree-Rock's going down. Ooh, and avoiding getting dunked on by that Dynamo Roar. Fine motion, getting picked off by Hyolin. And it just seems like Oingo Boingo Brothers has more range and more paint, and that's about all that I can say for this time. Right now, at least.
We're already 2 minutes into this game, and no team has made a push yet. We actually did see a push, but we didn't see any score added to the board. But Oingo Boingo Brothers, they have a chance here. We see multiple players going down here, and we see they're able to take a lot more space on their plat here. There goes that Dynamo, and there goes that Bucket, and there goes the Aura for that Gal, and they're able to get another on the Stamper, and that's going to be a huge wipeout all the way down to 60, down to the 50s now, almost down to the 40s even. Dynamo putting up a lot of pressure, making sure they don't get any more claims into that basket. It's going to be necessary. They're able to pick off the Gal here. And the Cooler is going to apply the extra support that Oingo Boingo Brothers need to keep this push and to at least keep the members of Irish Monarchy at bay.
Tree-Rock's getting poked as the Blaster tree buffs here, nearly avoiding everything, matrixing, call them Neo, taking one down with them as Slosher gets the final pick here. Hyolin putting in the work, everybody here putting in the work, but Zipcaster making a nice diversion here, but I don't think that 52 Gal is going, or I'm sorry, a Pencil here is going to entertain that.
So already 3 down on the side of Irish Monarchy. That Gal, they have Aura again. They're winning the challenge, but get a little bit too greedy, and the Stamper is able to throw them out just in time to make sure Oingo Boingo can't with this push, but they still have that Aura, to say the least, now on that splash. They want to apply as much pressure as possible. They want to keep enough space to move around. It's going to be crucial for this team to do so, and they're going to be doing exactly that. They have the Crab, they have the Whale out. The amount of pressure that this team is applying, the members of Irish Monarchy really cannot push in at all. They have all of the clams on the map. They're actually looking to do another push now. Down to 6. They just need one more clam, but the Zipcaster trying to keep them at bay, but it's not enough here. But 3 down on the side of Oingo Boingo Brothers, and Irish Monarchy has a chance to finally push up with a minute left in the match.
Irish Monarchy has a really good pushback here. Oingo Boingo Brothers were put on the back foot, as I was seeing from the overhead camera. And while Oingo Boingo Brothers have the right idea, they can't seem to get any further. It looks as if they're bottlenecked here. Except they were scheming the whole time. They were scheming while even I didn't know it. Getting a dunk on them, Matt.
And that's going to be very interesting, because they don't actually gain anything crazy from that. And what they just did is they gave Irish Monarchy a super clam. So they just gave them that chance for overtime, but another super clam about to go into the basket. Down to 47 in the Blaster. Able to apply some extra support, getting the score down to 47. But this is going to give Irish Monarchy 3 power clams actually now. And they do have an overtime push. They still are in this game to win it.
Indeed they are. I didn't know that Oingo Boingo Brothers was going to scheme something, and they get a wipeout. I think that's it for this.
And that is going to be it. The side of
Northern
Irish
base.
monarchy does not have any other time to really get a push going, and that's going to be a 2-0 win for Oingo Boingo Brothers. But what a set!
Geez, both teams. Seems as though the Irish monarchy is not going to annex more land this time. No expansion this time, but it was a good attempt.
So as
And
I
the
said at the
Oingo.
beginning of the Mhm.
Sorry, you keep going.
As I said at the beginning of the match, there are 2 points you can move in for Clan Blitz. You got the normal ramp, and you had that little block there, and they actually did exactly that. They tried to move in on that block, but it didn't work. So they wanted to play it safe, take the path of the ramp, and the Scout able to get a crazy 4-piece on Irish Monarchy, which allowed Oingo Boingo to really push in there and get a really solid push at the beginning of the match. They were able to defend for a while up until this
Yeah,
last minute. They were really just going back. They were really just keeping mid, keeping Irish Monarchy at bay, able to get a little bit more of a score in, which was actually surprising. I did not expect that, but really, what a performance!
indeed. Both teams performed beautifully. Oh, there's a lot of matches in here. Was this a best of 9? Or
Nope, this was the best of 3. It's for the next game, as we don't even need to take a break. We are actually going right into our winners finals.
I was going to say one more thing before we get into the winners finals. Irish Monarchy's comp, I really like how, like you were saying, they were able to defend for a while. That comp is built more for defense rather than actually pushing in too much. Meanwhile, the other comp, you had a blaster on the team, you had a couple shooters, you had one pencil, which is a well-rounded comp and great for frontlining. But you had a more specialized defense on Irish Monarchy, which isn't a bad comp at all. It's actually pretty good. Sometimes you gotta know when to specialize. Sometimes not. I hope I make sense. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah. So going into this, I believe we're actually jumping right in. Yes, we are ready. We have difficult up against looking for an internship 6-month.
An internship.
I feel like that should be. I feel like they should be on LinkedIn. I feel like they should be on the LinkedIn site, not like. I know we're on the Sendu website, but I think we should be on LinkedIn if we're doing that. If we're looking for an internship, but we have.
Imagine competitive
our,
LinkedIn.
We have our Seed 1 team up against our Seed 2 team. So, very interesting. We have our top 2 teams going up against each other now. And we're going to be starting off on Splat Zone's Wahoo.
Interesting. Wahoo. Really cool. Brush bias, but like.
So, going into this, Splat Zone's Wahoo, not something you actually see too often, but definitely a staple of the Splatoon 2 map list, to say the least. And Wahoo World's actually one of my more favorited zones maps. You got a good you got this ramp that comes in and out, which can not only limit how much you can push, but also could help in the long run, especially while defending. Well, really the only thing open is the uninkable areas. So what are these? I believe it's actually the only circular zone map in the game as well. So it's unique on the sense of that.
Oh yeah, you're actually right. I didn't think about that. Having a circular zone like that, it's what makes it more fun, especially with the terrain. It also is unique. I love running around as a brush.
Maybe they want an internship from Sendu. I don't know if they'd get an internship from Sendu. I don't know if Sendu's doing all that.
Right, but could you imagine competitive LinkedIn?
Competitive
I don't
LinkedIn.
know how.
I mean I mean LinkedIn is already competitive enough. I think
But
that
I
works
mean
out.
like. That's just a favorite quest.
That's just FA request. Yeah, pretty much.
This is so
That's pretty
funny.
much. Thank you, Jorian, for clearing that up for the viewers. But without further ado, let's move on to our winners' final set. Starting off, we have our zones. Wahoo.
Brush. Brush. I see a brush.
There's your
I see an
brush.
ink brush. You be proud ink brush. I
Moku
mean,
is
what?
happy now. Lulu, you made Moku very happy by using ink brush. But
Shout out to
starting
Lulu.
off right away, we see, of course, we see our pen on both sides, and we see a splash coming out as well. Immediately, we see that Carbon trying to take a more aggressive push, but immediately getting shut down here. But we do see them going up that wall. They're able to get a pick off of the blaster, and the bucket goes down as well. And immediately, starting off this game, Internship is immediately pushing up and just leaving that bucket up on their plat, and the timer is ticking down as Internship has the first pick of the zone.
Internship out here. We've got 350 out here. Matrixing, call them Neo, with Crab Tank coming out here on the side of difficult, going down to another crab. It was a crab battle the whole time. 12 out here, putting in the work, making space, guarding the core. I wonder what that core tastes like.
I don't know. It must be like McDonald's Sprite. But
Oh no.
oh my lord, the triple with the help of the hammer, completely
sweet.
shutting and the pen gets taken out, completely shutting down Difficult's chance to push, and they have no time to get that zone in a quick 100-0 KO for Internship to start. They have a very strong start to the set.
That was a very strong sweep indeed to the set, and the set's still young, so Difficult has enough time to reverse sweep them at this point. Lulu on the Inkbrush Nouveau. Inkbrush Nouveau is not bad. I like vanilla, but Nouveau is pretty cool too. You see that? You see the Matrixing out there, and that was a crab battle. I missed that the first time. I'm impressed.
Well, I mean, the amount of pressure Internship really had on them immediately, they were able to get 2 down at the beginning of the match and then just take that zone, and they did not lose it for a second. And this squad wipe to finish it off was really incredible. That burst bomb was definitely a lucky pick, but it sealed the deal for game 1, and we're going to be going tower ship shape.
Tower on chip shape. It's really interesting. I really wonder what Lulu was going to do. I almost called you Lily. All right, are we seeing any comp changes?
We do see one of the splashes going for the Neo version, and that's because they really trust in those tri-strikes. Tri-strikes have been seeing a lot of use lately, and Neo Splash has actually been used a lot more recently in this meta, to say the least.
Oh, but one of the other teammates on difficult has tri-strikes themselves, so who knows what we're going to see. We're already seeing them clash in mid with no one going down yet. No, never mind. 2 people on 6-month internship have gone down already, making enough space for difficult to push up if they so chose, and nearly missing. Oh, that's just an unfortunate hitbox. You saw that, right?
I did. The hammer just barely taking out that 4th player, and the members of Internship are immediately moving in here with the help of that Zuka, and the Carbon going in right away to take that bucket off the board, but it looks like the tower is actually getting stopped at that first checkpoint.
Gecko out here, putting in the work, going to the sides, through, getting doubles, getting triple. That's a 3-piece and a wipeout.
That was really just disrespecting that bubble completely, getting a double and then going for another. The members of Internship are on it. They're able to get past that first checkpoint, and the members of Difficult are really just trying to put a stop to it, but they're already 2 down, and the hammer takes out another. And this splash going right in for another wipeout as they approach that final checkpoint.
Oh yeah, this comp is better suited for frontlining, but Difficult's comp is as well. What is going on, Difficult? Y'all still got enough time in 3, 2, 1, and that is the set for. Wait, is this a set? Is this best of? This is best of 5. Never mind.
They still have one
best of
more
5.
game.
I'm lying. Me when I lie.
They still have one more game, but Internship taking a surprising 2-0 immediately, just laying it down for Difficult. I mean, I feel like we should change the team names around a little bit, but that's just me. But immediately we saw how fast they were able to push. We saw it difficult. They tried to push up right at the beginning, but the second they went 2 down, the members of internship, they were just on it.
No, no, no. In all fairness, that was an unfortunate hitbox on that hammer. Like, that hammer landed 10 miles away and still got somebody. That's just unfortunate. But look at Gecko here putting in the work, getting triple and a wipeout. Bro is aura farming on stream right now. I hate that to call out. Sorry, folks.
That is an actual call out now. Aura farming is an actual call out. So, moving in, we have our game 3. We have Rainmaker on Haggle. Now, the question is, will Internship get another KO and finish this off, or will Difficult have a comeback?
I think Difficult's going to have a comeback here. This is the bread and butter of competitive Splatoon, except it's not Spot Zones. It's, as you said, Rainmaker. I wonder what the Rainmaker tastes like.
I don't think you can eat that. I don't think you can eat a Rainmaker. I don't think.
But imagine if it was like chocolate with
but I feel
foil.
like that's a metal object. I don't think that's a food. I don't know. Can you get
but
someone
imagine
to
if that was
research that?
chocolate under the foil.
Could be. You never know. So, starting off, we actually do see the splash going away for NZAP now on the side of Internship. So, we see 12 really moving around, picking some different weapons depending on this mode in map.
Already Lulu out here with the hammer, not getting anybody, but having a nice flank over here. At least it was an attempt to flank, jumping right back to their teammate, having Gecko accompany them, and they're already pushing in. 6-month internship is really serious about that internship.
Immediately pushing up, they're 2 down, and the Rainmaker's just in a spot where they can take it and run. That pen trying to stop them, but they are able to run up down to 28, and this Carbon really can't push up here because of the pen. And we see this splash out coming in there. They are able to trade with Lulu. Difficult, trying their best to get this Rainmaker out of their base.
Yeah, and Difficult is having not a difficult time, but they are being stopped. They're at risk of being bottlenecked, but the Rainmaker carrier, Rio, is doing a very nice job. They're stalling it out and relying on their teammates. This is a good way to carry it. You're not just blindly carrying it through, but eventually you'll want to find an opening so that Kai here, for example, doesn't end up sniping you without looking at you, or Lulu doesn't just smack you with the brush over and over.
But they have less than 30 seconds on that Rainmaker. They need to push up now. This is a chance for them to do so. They are able to get rid of that Carbon. They want to push for that checkpoint. Lulu trying their best, but they do actually get taken out. The Zap came up right on that flank to take them out, making sure they didn't get that checkpoint. And with that Cooler's help, the members of Internship are doing their best to make sure Difficult does not get that checkpoint.
Internship is really serious about getting that 6-month internship, especially for people not going on the LinkedIn first. But aside from that, we're seeing Slosher out here ledge peeking, nearly surviving a Trizuka, but getting taken out by a hammer. Lulu going down to Blaster, getting poked from the other side of the map. You got map control for Internship.
And now we see Difficult. They still have a bit of that map control. They're able to get the pick off of the Zap with the help of the Crab. They want to push into that brush, trying to put pressure down. They aren't able to get the Carbon, though, pushing in there. Able to get a double and another one to pick up the Rainmaker before being taken out. Completely shutting down another one of Difficult's pushes.
Difficult did not have the size control, the size advantage that they needed, nor the map control. A good retreat for one of them as Slosher comes back in. Oh, Rainmaker resetting.
And we see they're really just trying to put all this pressure. They have just 2 minutes before this end of the match. They need to think of something that they want to push up here. We see that Blaster on the flank. They want to get that pen, but we do see that Carbon going down. They lose their aggression. They're able to get another. They're able to get the aura, and they're able to finally push, and they are able to get that checkpoint. The Carbon gets taken out, though. They do have this chance to move in.
They do, and Blaster aura farming, giving them enough time to get the Rainmaker at least on the platform. There's still time at 1 minute and 28 seconds, but getting wiped out by internship. But there's still time to make a push. 12 out here putting in work. I say that a lot, but really hard at work with putting down a lot of ink. Let's see Aurora farming 350.
A lot more of a closer match here. Just a 3-point difference here. We see that crab going out there. We have that splashdown ready. They're looking for an opportunity to push, and they do have that splashdown down there. Able to take off that zap, keeping their aura on. We see that Pen putting up a bunch of pressure though with their 3 down, and they lose their chance to push up her. The Carbon went up for a flank hit with a pincer. They're able to take him out, and the members of internship, in just a matter of seconds, completely changed the map into their purple ink. And with that cooler, they have the time to stall it out with just 30 seconds left on that clock.
30 seconds left, indeed, but I think they don't need that much time here because, getting stopped at 2 points. But Difficult will have to make a miracle push if they want to go into overtime and have a chance to get that lead for themselves.
We saw, I mean, they had that lead and they chose to push anyways, and down to 2, they basically just confirmed it. And with the Carbon with a nasty shark, that seals the deal, and internship gets a 3-0 win over Difficult, making their way into the paddling pool grand finals.
GG's both teams. 6-month internship, you might have a chance at getting that internship that you want in Difficult. GG's to y'all. Y'all did great.
And that is going to be a very solid ending, a very solid 3-0 from internship. We saw just a minute into the game pushing down to 28, and they did have a little bit. They weren't able to push up really further here. Difficult did have a bit more of a footing, able to push down to 65, and then eventually they were able to clear that checkpoint with a little bit more work, but still able to do it nonetheless. But we really saw how well these hammer throws were able to get the picks that they needed and able to take out the Rainmaker when it needed to be. And 2 minutes into the game, able to get past that checkpoint, immediately picking it up and throwing it down back into 31, but the members of internship stopping it just in time before that lead. And really, internship could have just stuck it. They didn't even need to push it again, but they decided to do so anyways because they were really worried about that lead. It wasn't a far lead, so they wanted to push it further, and they had the opportunity to do so. Getting it all the way down to 2 with just 15 seconds left on the clock was just amazing.
And the fact that they pushed meant that they actually respected Difficult's power. Difficult had an equal shot at getting lead all this time, but from what I've been seeing, and this isn't meant to be critique, but it's just my analysis, and I could be wrong. Like, y'all are free to bonk me with an ink brush if I'm wrong, but it seemed like Blaster was doing the leading, and there wasn't a whole lot of follow-up that I could see. I mean, sure, he had people with them, but it just seemed like they were leading, but the others had their own ideas. I'm not so sure. That's what it looks like to me. But both teams fought their hearts out. What do you think? Do you think you agree with me? It's okay if you don't agree with me. It's okay if you don't.
Yeah, no, to finish off, very, very solid sets. We saw some sweeps on the board there. And with a quick end, we do have our other commentators coming up shortly to start off with losers semifinals. So they're going to be on shortly. But before we go, Moku, where can they find you?
Y'all can find me on Discord as Moku, and y'all can find me on Blue Sky, moku1020.bsky.social, and there you can mail me your ramen and your salmon and maybe a bowl of mint chip. I really want the mint chip. I went to the store today and forgot to get the mint chip, but I raided the company fridge here at Dapple Productions, and there was no mint chip in here either, Matthew. What about you?
I think Joe Ryan's in charge of that. Joe Ryan's in charge of the fridge.
Oh, man.
So, you can blame Joe Ryan for that one.
No.
You got pancakes, though. You got pancakes. Does that work?
That works.
In there. But yeah, no. You can find me at Matthew Mega pretty much anywhere. But without further ado, we have our loser semis finals starting shortly, and our other commentators are gonna pick up from here. So good luck to all of the teams moving forward, and we'll see you guys next time.
Woohoo! Thanks for commentating with me. Y'all have fun watching the tournament. Drink water.
Welcome back, everyone, to today's paddling pool tournament. This is Conroe And right now I'm joined by Jorian, who is pulling a double job as the the kind of producer of this stream as well. So say hi to everyone, Jorian. You're on the mic now.
Yeah, technically funny enough, it's a triple job because replays as well. But honestly, in general, though, it is going to be the loser bracket semifinals. We are a little bit late, but who really matters because we get to see the tournament in general. We are going to be seeing that Orca Sack Party, aka Blank Z with a fourth, is going to be in the green, and also in the purple, we're going to be seeing Paris and Gloofest. You see them every week, honestly, that surprisingly they are down and loose because of the upset on the top side with the newcomers of Difficult and looking for a 6-month internship.
Yeah, so this is the loser semi-final. This is the 3rd and 4th seed of the tournament. Difficult. I'm not entirely sure of the players on the team, but they were the top seed for this, so I can only imagine they do have some strong players on their team. Rucksack Party is basically Blank Z with an extra, as you said. Not in Britain as Blank Z, but yeah, Blank Z. Blank Z is the proper way of doing it. And Paris St. Rufus is a recognised team. I'm just going to shorten that to PSG, which is probably the football team they took that name from. But
Yeah.
it is. PSG have got the early push, but the Rainmaker was grabbed by Rucksack Party. Not too much support with the Rain right now. They were able to, the teammates were able to come back into mid though, and now they're going to set up, try and get a push going, but they get a little bit punished by the Rapid Pro on the other team. That is the new Rapid with the Tacticooler on it, and it's just the Edit now who is going to have to back up as the Rainmaker is on top of the spin.
Honestly, I'm surprised for Blank Z with the fourth, aka Vulcan Sack Party, that they are going to go with this type of comp, that they have the edit this time. That's honestly the main difference that we have usually from the comp with the other players. Well, no, not the edit. I mean the fourth. And the fourth is actually going to be the 52 Deco. Screen being allowed is kind of a shocker, but in general, though, it does give them a disadvantage for the side of PSG because you have to be staying away from the green screen forever. And also, I don't think if it got buffed or nerfed at all, but it just in general, it's a nuisance. I'm going to see my now with Dragon, the fourth getting a solid double, mostly going for Oryx against triple if they got to fall off, but they don't. I'm going to see my now for PSG since they have nobody activated because they are going to be picking up 4 Buffer Sack Party, and they're most likely going to be starting again because in Museum, it's going to be a whole start fest until possibly a minute or wipe out.
Yeah, pretty much. Museum Rainmaker is a very difficult game match to, or mode to push on. Rucksack Party kind of, I mean, they finally got the checkpoint there. PSG were doing a really good job of kind of stalling. You know, they've got 2 weapons with 2 blasters with good AoE. They've got the Slosher, of course, as well, which is also decent AoE. Rucksack Party have brought a really aggressive comp to this with C Blast, Julies, and 52 Gout, and of course the Edit as well, which is a more aggressive choice than the Pen. But it is PSG that have been able to break that checkpoint, and they have player advantage. All they did, but now they don't. The Julies get some vital picks and is able to drop the Rainmaker onto the ground. So even though PSG got the have killed the Rainmaker, they need to get it back. Although they've got plenty of paint, this should absolutely be the lead, and it will be. Nice big bubbler on the past checkpoint as well. Going along the grates, just going for some extra points by landing up there, not able to. But it's still a decent push, and that is the lead for PSG.
And also at spot 2, did you play the update recently yet? On Monday or no?
I think so.
If you play the
I don't know what
update,
you're referring to, though.
if you play the update, you know that Aura State does actually buff some abilities, and the buff abilities with the Aura State from the Windmaker, they did show really well because I don't think they were cool enough, but you can see that they had swim speed and 1 speed up with the Aura State, and that actually put them up to 41. So that's a start state they had right now. Multi actually didn't also fail on getting the jump on Little, who actually does get on the platform, doing a little bit of a trick jump right there. And honestly, we have so much control on the side of PSG's base. Well, on the side of PSG, they went to Buffett and Clutch space so much that for the last 1 minute 15, it's going to be a little bit of a while if they can come back, because look at this control immediately coming back to the side of Buffett and yeah.
There's a lot of control, and that's a decently placed screen. They're going to have to drop off the plat to get away from that. The splashdown doing something for them. And I think, again, as you said, the Rainmaker is now auraed. I guess that's one more reason not to feed to the Rainmaker carrier, because the aura does affect them as well. It's the same as the cooler effect. Again, the blast is going to apply a lot of pressure, but they had to drop to mid, that Rapid Pro, and they get punished for it. Can Rucksack Party find their way through? The wave breakers slowing things down. They do just need to get rid of these players.
I'm sorry, guys, I was late.
PSG. It's okay, I'm joined by my new co-commentator in a second hat. Has joined.
I was very much on time. I was not booking a vacation at all.
Well, I have 30 seconds hat, so why not you bring it in for the end of the game?
Very cool, very cool. Okay. We'll quickly get into the shit. Oh, the splatter screen actually very good on the defense on that Rainmaker. Rook's party trying to find their way in. They grab the Rainmaker. They have 13 seconds to push the thing to 40. That's doable. It's doable, Conroe, but it's gonna be a little difficult. 3 players down, unfortunately, though. Oh, they have the Rainmaker, but there's a little bomb coming. 1 second of overtime, Conroe. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough.
It is, it is. You followed the most seamless commentary transition mid-game of all time, but Rucksack Party are trying to gain the lead in overtime, but they're quickly running out of time, and this wall that Paris St. Lucas has had all game is not letting up. They have tri-strikes ready, they have 2 blasters, and they have a heavy splatling. 2 players down again for Rucksack Party. Their front lines just cannot get through this PSG line. They're just losing players everywhere. So are PSG, to be fair, but not enough to get the job done. A push to 41 is enough to take for PSG to take game 1 of this best of 3 set in the losers semi-final. And welcome in properly, Hat. Now you've got some time to introduce yourself.
I am sorry that I was late. I had a very important meeting, but I'm here. It's been a hot minute since I've guessed Splatoon. They did this update where they had the aura. I have not looked into it properly, but it looked really cool. So I am glad that we got some more Splatoon content coming at us, especially this late in the game's life cycle with all the little new health bars and stuff. But Conro, how are you? Because I don't think anyone has asked you the question yet.
I'm very good, thank you. I'm excited to cast Paddling Pool. It's been a while since I've been on this one. The UK Uni tournament NSE is back, so I did that on Monday, and it was very exciting. And I'm back for more only 2 days later with Paddling Pool. And yeah, as you said, what is the proper word for it? It's not Aura State, it's Aura Flow. That's it. Aura Flow, Flow, yeah. Aura. Flow Aura. I always forget. It's Aura, it's Flow State, it's whatever you wanna call it. But yeah, it's very similar effects to Tacticaller if you get it, and it lasts for, I think it lasts for the same amount of time, 30 seconds. But if you are able to add to it with another splat, you get 10 seconds added on top of that. It doesn't go over 30 seconds though, like the top is 30 seconds. So I don't know, if you've got 23 seconds left and you get a splat, it doesn't go up to 33, it just goes back up to 30. But yeah, that's how Aura works. It's very exciting. A lot of people tend to get overheated with it. And I'm not used to, because it's so similar to Tacticaller, I'm not used to like getting splatted with Aura and not reviving immediately. Like every time it happens to me, I'm like, oh, it's okay, I'm going to be back in like half a second. I'm not. You still respawn in the normal time. It doesn't give you that, thankfully. Otherwise, it would be pretty broken. But it is a very exciting change. Along with the health bars are actually, like, I wasn't sure about it initially, but I'm a big fan of it now, I can't lie.
I'm still debating about recording the health bars, because like the visual damage indicator was nice, but at the same time, sometimes you just randomly get shot and die, or you shot someone and they don't get splatted, and you're looking at it like, how? Then I guess the health bar is nice to see how much damage you exactly did. So I haven't really played yet, so I'm a bit skeptical of it, but we're going to have to see. I think for casting, it is really nice. Like not as player as a cast side, it is great seeing the health bars, and I already love these compositions coming out. Rapid Blaster Pro Heavy Remix, I love it already. 52 gal with the splatter color screen is going to be interesting to see how that's going to go here on the style control game. 3 splats instantly on the side of Paris. They're not gonna last much longer. They're trying to go for the team wipe. They have a delayed wipe. And Rucksack Party already on checkpoint 1 and pushing forward, Congo.
Yeah, Rucksack Party have started this very convincingly with a lot of splats. The push is going to get slowed down a little bit because they've lost one player. PSG quickly coming back in. The splashdown, though, that is a pretty nice punish. They get taken out, but still player advantage for Rucksack Party, who are quickly moving towards the second checkpoint. There's only one change for comps on either team in this game, and it is the Tetra. They were on Jawlies in the first game. They've moved to the Tetra Jawlies. A little bit more aggressive, you know, they got a little bit more range, providing a few more issues, especially for the 2 blasters and the bucket. Just a lot of moving around and having to deal with that. But that's not a bad first push from Rucksack Party. This is only a best of 3 set, so they have to win these next 2 games. And so far, the decision to change to Tetra has paid off.
It definitely has, but for how long will the payoff last? Paris only needs 1 good push, and they are back on top. 46 score to beat 4 players alive for Paris. Rucksack Party only with 2 on the map, so they're being pushed back quite heavily. A lot of blue paint on the map as well. And there we see on the right side 2 players from Paris pushing in. But oh, that's Splatnings! He's got 3 in a row! Alongside their Team Dragon, and that's a delayed wipe control. Rucksack Party back in control in a split second.
That's how quick it can change, and that's why sometimes you just want to bring an edit. Once it's online, it can splat very quickly. The fire rate on that thing is so fast. They've got 1 more point on the board so far, but the strikes are going to come and slow them down. They are cornered, but they've lost the player. That player there is so weak, as we could see from the health bar, but they were able to back up. The edit is going to get back on time. The Tetra doing exactly what they should be doing. They've been able to flank, but a little bit too much damage coming to their way. But they are cornered, so they are going to be back very quickly. Rucksack Party, just 1 more point on the board, but there's a lot of fighting mid. I don't think this push is going to get turned around for now. PSG looking for the first big push of the game for them, really. They've got past the first checkpoint at least, but the first checkpoint on Undertow is not very far at all. It's mainly about that second check, which Rucksack Party have already broken.
Yeah, to do the repairs is probably going to struggle with, because they are constantly getting split at the second they get on the tower. Here again, 2 players down, 3 players down. Paris cannot find some grounds, cannot find a way in. Rucksack Party very strong on both the offense and the defense right now. They were struggling last game, but now they are full in control. Strike Track's coming out, but it has no effect. Splatter's color screen is out on the map as well. Big on the heavy edit. Looking for the second one. Looking for little. They see the other heavy. It's the last player alive, so they're going to score big points now. Tactical out on the field as well. Tetra dived in a little bit too deep. Got refrag though, and this is going to be important for Rucksack Party, because they can almost secure that gamer if they can get the splats and if they can get on the tower. They are right at the 3rd checkpoint. Dragon trying to get some splats. Doesn't work out, unfortunately. Stealth jump, splashdown, Conroe. Oh, that reminds me of Splatoon 2.
I was going to say the same thing. I mean, I am quite glad they brought it back. It's such a funny play. It always was, and to bring it back with triple splashdown is great. And yeah, that was a really good triple splashdown. Well, stealth jump splashdown, as you said there, and they are moving towards that final checkpoint. They've really been in control these last few moments, just constant front lines, just flanking on PSG, getting the picks. Both teams are always staggered, but it just means for PSG, they're not able to fully reset that tower. They're going to have a chance to do that now as the teammates jump back in, but we do see Multi on the Tetra, and they are absolutely going to try and sneak in for a flank. They did not see, they are so close to that bucket. They don't know, well, now they know because Multi is marked, but they do get the pick before going down, and that's pretty big for them, Hat.
They do get the pick indeed, but they only have 40 seconds left to get all the way to checkpoint number 3. They don't have to break number 3, they just kind of have to get to it. And that's going to be the difficult part. Aura on the heavy edit, 3 players down! Again, Paris St. Glufus, they cannot find their way in. They're struggling so much. 73 is just past checkpoint 1. Isn't even that far, and there's 20 seconds remaining. Tritrack's coming out, trying to save something, but again, 3 players down to secure that game. That's almost a delayed wipe. It's just the heavy splatling left on the side from Little. They have 1 potential more push on overtime if they can get on the tower right here and right now. But there's again 3 players down. And with a wipe out to seal the deal, Rucksack Party went from struggling in game 1 into dominating game number 2.
I think that was a reef slide just ending on tower there. I love that. My favorite tower control GG special reef slider from the Tetra coming out. But yeah, that was what a way to respond to game 1. Struggling in Rainmaker to really get through PSG's defenses, having a much easier time with it on tower control on a map like this, where it is once you're able to get onto the other team's kind of defensive side of the map, as they were constantly doing with the Blaster and the Tetra, they did have a much easier time with it. And the edit also, I think, enjoyed this map mode a lot more than Museum Rainmaker, because they were getting pick after pick, both on attack and defense. Like, they were so good for Rucksack Party. Oh, that might quickly be BRB, so it is just me for a moment, I guess. But yeah, Rucksack Party and PSG are 1-1. It is a best of 3 set, this losers semi-final. The winner of this goes on to play the top seed in the losers final. Difficult, as in their team name is difficult. I'm not saying this match is difficult for these teams, but we are going to go to game 3, which is Clan Blitz on Umami Ruins.
I'm wondering what these two teams are gonna do, because I feel like it's such a bit of a balanced middle ground for both of these maps. It's shaped more like Unuto, but it has some of the height variations of Museum. So I'm wondering if you see what we're gonna see in terms of comp changes. No comp changes for Rucksack Party, and I think other than the dualies, there's no. Actually, no. There's another team that has a comp change. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think there's many. I think the blaster for PSG, I think they were a custom before. I can't quite remember though, to be honest. I know Benny.
I'm pretty sure they were the frozen.
Yeah.
Either way, doesn't matter. This game, I think maybe luckily for Paris, it's a bit slower than tower control. There's a bit more control in how the objective flow goes, so that might help them a lot. Same with Rainmaker. So let's see how they're going to perform here. They have no splats on the board. The normal blaster for Rucksack Party is down, so that's good. Let's see how they're going to go in. They have tactically ready. Paris St. Lufus can push forward, but there's a big splatter skull screen in their way. And that's going to scare, not just because they can't see through it, but also because they know there's people lurking behind that combo. And no team has made a push for the basket so far.
Yeah, they haven't. And just from what I understand as well, with splatter color screen, the health bar will not show for opponents if they're kind of through the screen, so you don't get that either. The devs did think of that one, but yeah, no score as of yet. But Rucksack Party do score a wipeout. They just need to get the clams. They don't have that many clams as a team. Dragon is going to get a power clam, but they are going to have to sit tight with that. And I will mention this Tetra. I have actually, so Rucksack Party is basically Blank Z, and I have fought them on this map mode before. Tetra reef slide to basket. They have 3 power clams and they all jump to them. So if they bring that kind of play here, you know, do expect it, because they are very coordinated. They can set that up. Right now, though, they don't really need it. I mean, they are getting the picks. They don't need a play like that. They can just score the old-fashioned way by just running in with clams, and they have a lot of clams to put on the board. They're reaching the 50 mark. There are more to come in as well. PSG gradually getting back in, but that reef slide from the Tetra, I mean, it didn't get anyone, and they do get punished for it, but it doesn't matter. Enough distraction coming out, and it's just the heavy splatting alive, and this is a massive push already, Hat.
Low and steady for pushing. Minister raised. A heavy pushing in forward. Getting more and more clams. 17 is the score to beat. I don't think they're going to get many more clams in there. Paris really dove in the center, so they're trying to get some ground back. But that's a huge push, like you said. Rucksack Party opening this game like a banger. Yeah, you see all those little rectangular brackets, and then you know it is blanks and blanks. They've been grinding Splatoon for so long. They've been doing so many tournaments within Dapple Productions, and we see them getting better and better every single time. And moments like this is showing their true skill. Tries coming out for Paris St. Lufus, trying to open up that basket, trying to dive in. 2 players down inside a Rucksack Party. They might have a chance here. Big tech splatter color screen though. That's gonna block out the blast, and is almost forced to go through it, wasting tons and tons of time. They have a player down on Rucksack Party's side, but it's not enough. We see them going in, getting rid of one, looking at the other, getting rid of that Splatling 2 color. With that, this push from Paris comes to an end before it even started.
Yeah, they are not able to break open that basket. Rucksack Party basically hoping to do to PSG what PSG did to them in game 1, just walling them out for these pushes. They do have the good weapons for it. You know, they have a splatter color screen as it comes out there, but even on defense, it's just so oppressive to deal with. It doesn't do much damage, but you still don't want to get hit by it, and you can't see anything past it. They have a Tetra with Reef Slider and a Blaster with Splashdown, and of course that edit that is just shredding anything that comes into its view. Multi managed to get the Reef Slider out, and that Slosher, I don't know how they avoided that, but they do get followed up on by a teammate. Some aura is active for a Rucksack Party member, and they are still getting the picks. They have a power clam in the basket and a few extra clams to push it up, but the basket is open. PSG starting to come back in. Whoa, suddenly they've lost 2 players, 3 players
That's
more.
a wipeout. Oh
It's
no.
wipeout.
This might be game ending, but Rucksack Party has to do it really fast. They have only 3 clams on the hand. It's only 2, it's only 1. They just need 3 more clams in the basket. There's coming from Benji. Only manages to throw 1 though. The last one in the hands of Benji. Found a way to pick it up and close the deal. Not a single point scored for Paris St. Lufus, but Rucksack Party dominating game 2 and 3 from a loss to a victory, because they are going to the losers finals facing seed number 1. Beautiful, beautiful game.
Yeah, such good play from Rucksack Party in both games 2 and 3 after losing a very close game 1. It just looked so convincing in both, really. PSG didn't really get too close to winning, especially this game. They weren't able to open the basket at all, I don't think. And Rucksack Party, they're just, I mean, I mentioned the play, the kind of blank Z play that they did against my team one time with Reef Slider, just going in. I mean, they didn't do it here, but it does tell you how kind of coordinated they are. And as you said earlier, they've been grinding this game for a very long time. You do often see them entering tournaments, even if it's not as blank Z, it will be as some kind of pickup, or these players will be around. I mean, there were 4 blank Z players registered for this team, plus the extra that they're playing with this time, which I think was Dragon on the Gal. So yeah, the coordination coming through there. This is not a best of H set, as you can see from the visual there. This is a best of 3. It is over.
How would the
Rucksack
best of
Party.
8 even work?
I don't know.
I don't think there's
We can have ties, I guess. And
there's not really the best you can have. No.
I have been in tournaments before where you could tie a game. It was very strange. But no, this is a double elimination bracket, so there won't be any ties anyway. Rucksack Party are going through to the losers final to face Difficult. We'll probably be back very shortly, but we will just go to a quick break before we get into this one. So yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. With Dapple Productions, we'll be back for the losers final in a bit.
And welcome back to Battling Pool. It is time for the losers finals, best of 5 in the losers bracket, and whoever loses this is out of the tournament. Whoever wins this is going to the winner's side, looking for an internship 6 months. I think I might have a company for them if they live in the Netherlands, but that's not our team today. We are looking at difficult against Rucksack Party. Rucksack Party, of course, we know better as Blanks, who just got a dominating game in loser semis. And difficult seed number 1 with some crazy names on the board. Isn't this just like half of Black Lotus? You take this band? I haven't been really in this Splatoon loop. Sorry,
I think it is. I haven't seen them under anyone under that team name for a while. If they have, apologies for missing it. But yeah, I also don't fully keep up with it. But yeah, I feel like these players are. I think they've kind of come back to the game, maybe. Especially as a group, I haven't seen them for a while. Maybe I'm wrong on that as well. But yes, they do have some of those names as well. We did see them just before we took over commentary in the winners final, but that was a 3-0. They lost to the internship, the 6-month internship team. So they have dropped down to the losers final against Rucksack Party, and this is going to be a best of 5. This one to decide who faces internship in the grands, and we're going to start with Tower Control on Hagglefish Market.
Let's see, these team comps, Splash Medic and a pencil. Ooh. Okay. Personal grudges with pencils. Normal vanilla dualies though is making it up. Of course it is Blanks with the beautiful comp. I love seeing the weapons every single time. The Vanilla Blaster against the Custom Blaster 2 is going to be an interesting matchup. Let's see how this is going to go. Both teams fighting for the midpoint. It is also a 3v2 scenario. Both teams have lost 1 player. The Crab Tank for Multi though is going to help with this fight. Last Splash Medic goes down. 4 players alive for Rucksack Party after the respawns, and they can hopefully answer in a little bit of that. There goes the Blaster, so that's definitely an opening moment here. Another player goes down in the Slusher Conro. Rucksack Party is making a very strong and honestly quite quick opening here too.
Yeah, definitely. Same as we saw in Tower Control and Undertow in the previous set. So I think many have gone back to the Splat Jollies rather than the Tetras. Interestingly, they used Jollies in the game that they lost in the last set, but they brought it back and it seems to have paid off so far. The push is starting to slow down. Almost a full wipe there. Benny tried to jump in, but they get taken out as well. It is a push to 56, just going past the first checkpoint, which isn't that far past mid, so that shouldn't be too difficult, dare I say, to push past that one if they get the chance. And the Crab Tank is out in a very good position. I think they know that 2 players are there, but they don't really have any help from the team, who seem to have been caught up elsewhere and getting taken down themselves. So it's a nice kind of counterplay from Rucksack Party to, you know, put this game straight back into their hands.
Crab Tanks is going to help opening with the push. Gonna block some shot from the pencil too. Multi doing a phenomenal job playing as the tanker for the team, allowing the tower to go to the point scored and beyond that even. Does go in, sacrifice themselves for even more points. Benji goes in, beautiful splat, trading with the Slusher. Blaster going in, not finding everyone they needed to. Finally, Rucksack Party has been almost delayed wipe and has been pushed off that tower. Finally, not breaking through checkpoint 2 does unfortunately hurt for them a little bit, because it allows Difficult to get themselves a little bit more time. But how will they use it though? 2 players down, so Difficult. Rucksack Party only lost 1. Slusher goes down as well. Difficult. The tower is not even back in the middle of the map, and you're already making it difficult for yourself. I know it's your name, you don't have to act like it.
Yeah, the amount of wordplay we can do just from a team that calls themselves difficult is quite a lot. But Multi has the Crab Tank ready to go. I'm not sure where they are on the map right now. Maybe they're on the tower. They're up there somewhere, but they're using Crab Tank. I can tell they activated it. Oh, they're on the far side of the map. That is where you want your front line to be. Just to, you know, lock down that area of the map is very easy for the defending team to rush tower from there. But Multi has it locked down, and they are getting pick after pick with the Splat Jollies. They're not bothered if they lost a game with that in the last set. They've gone back to it, and it is paying off in spades for this one. Benji has the court locked down. Before they got the pick on the pen, not quite. It would have been a good trade, but nevertheless, that's a really good push to 18. Medi trying to clear up now for Difficult, and they've done a good job of that as well. It should be the end of the push for Rucksack Party and Difficult. Let's see how they handle this one, because their first attempt at a push wasn't great. They do have everyone alive. They have a crab tank ready to go. Never mind, the crab tank has been taken out, and suddenly it's 2 down. I don't know if they're going to get anything again from this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a difficult one, that's for sure. I'm gonna make it fun the whole game, aren't I? It's gonna be a bit. It's gonna be a bit difficult for them to push through this mess. The pencil down Milt with a beautiful plan gets another. Oh, looking at that third. Can they get the third? No, not really. With an assist, they can get it. Those 3 players down for difficult again. Rucksack Party. They are not having any of it. They are not allowing difficult to get any grounds whatsoever. The second they go in, they strike back. They always have something on hand. They're always flanking. Their positioning almost flawless. Difficult. 45 seconds left, Condro. They have a chance, but they don't screw it up. And I see a couple specials ready on the side of Rucksack Party, so it's going to be difficult for them.
It is, yeah. The screen has come out. The Gal going down after, but they were able to get their screen out, and they did have a crab tank. Multi's actually used it already, trying to get rid of this bubble that the blaster has set up, and they are able to take out the blaster as well. And now they're trying to put pressure on the pencil. This is Dragon on the far side, and I think they're going to get the pick, and they do. And Benji is now joining for the flank as well. This is such good team play from Rucksack Party again, just knowing when to group up. The Slosher, they are alone. They throw the strikes out, probably just in desperation. There's only 10 seconds left. They had to try something, but I think this is going to be game 1 going to Rucksack Party, winning losers semi-final before, and they have started the losers final with a win as well in this best of 5 set.
Rucksack Party, very strong opener indeed. I'm just surprised that Difficult had such a hard time going in. I'm just surprised how quickly Rucksack Party may work with them. That's what I'm mostly surprised of. And we all know Blanks are phenomenal players. Like that's known. We accept that fact. But Difficult also some very, very remarkable players in their lineup, and they were all literally struggling fighting against Rucksack Party.
Yeah, definitely. It just seemed like, even when Difficult kind of were able to clear out the pushes, like they were here, and they had chances to get a push going of their own. I'm not sure, something just wasn't quite clicking. I don't know if it was players kind of just overextending a little bit alone and they get punished for it, or if Rucksack Party just knew exactly, where to go to defend and how to pair up. I mean, if I did say Difficult's players, some of them might have just kind of been coming back to the game, which it might make sense from like a coordination perspective, because Rucksack Party, aka Blank Z, kind of like we know they just grind this game. I don't think they ever stops. So, and they are very coordinated as a team. They probably know exactly how to play these maps and modes and where to defend and where to attack as well. So that's the impression I got from that game, because every player in this is definitely like good, mechanically and all of that. But maybe it is just that little bit of experience that some of the Difficult players are lacking. Not experience over the lifetime of the game and their comp careers, but just recently, if they are coming back to it. Whether that's true, I'm not sure. I think some of them might be coming back, but either way, we are going to go to game 2, Splat Zones on Macomart, which is of course a favorite of mine because I play buckets. So yeah, we do know there's a bucket on at least one of these teams, and to be honest, both of these teams seem quite comfortable with their comps, Rucksack Party especially, so I don't think we'll get a change there with the comp.
I honestly don't think they should change it up. Maybe Difficult to do a little of more aggressive comp to fight off Rucksack Party. I mean, they had a bit of a more traditional defensive comp. They opted not to switch other than a blaster. And we see some big changes coming on the side of Rucksack Party, opting to do switch to that heavy edit. And the Dapple Dualies, gotta say, we love them here. Keep them coming. That's an interesting change. Oh, what special does it have again? I literally just looked at it and I forgot.
That's the Reslider one. Yeah, it must be the Reslider one. They already have a caller and it is zones. I mean, I was thinking they might go back to the Tetra for the Reslider, but I mean, they've gone back to the Reef Slider, but it is the Dapples as well. Multi just trying to go through all the jewelries here, apparently. They have a good position on that flank already as well. That I think they're going to catch out the Splash. I don't know if the Splash knows they're there. The Splash gets taken out by a teammate, and Multi instead is going to get a pick. It is a trade, but that's a pretty good one for them, to be honest. Benji is locking down their stack, but it's a nice pick, actually, from the Blaster on Difficult side. Medi with the Crab Tank able to get a pick as well, so Difficult have brought it back a little bit at the start of this game. It is just the edit on Rucksack Party who has to wait for the rest of their team to respawn.
I feel like Difficult was warmed up a little bit of the little diesel engine has started running, and they are shredding. It is on full throttle, and now they are making it difficult for Rucksack Party to find a way in. We do see 2 players going down, Benji and Dragon, I believe, going down on the side of Rucksack Party. They have the Reef Slider on Multi in with the Reef Slider. Only neutralizes zone, doesn't capture. Tries Strike to counteract that and captured it. Unfortunately, that splatters color screen only is there to make players see black and white, not paint. Otherwise, it would have been a beautiful, beautiful special. Difficult pushing past the 40 mark Conroe and still counting. Rucksack Party yet to respond.
They are yet to respond, but they are. I think they're responding as we speak. That was a nice flank by 2 players again, just pairing up on that flank. They've got such an aggressive, lineup here. 3 frontline weapons, and they do tend to just pair up and go for a flank, and it does seem to be working. They got 2 there. I thought they were going to get that Crab Tank from Medi as well, but I don't think they were able to. I think Medi backed out, but it's enough for now. Medi's actually got another Crab Tank already, but the splashdown is going to get them, and this could be big. Oh, it's just 1 pick. That could have been a triple. That was very close to a triple from that Blaster, but it's still in Rucksack Party's favor. Difficult starting to come back in, but actually that Reef Slide is able to get someone as well. I think they were chipped and it got the job done, but all of a sudden it's just the Dapple on Rucksack Party, so this is going to be the zone going back to Difficult's favor, and they do still have the lead. Of course, they pushed it to 25. Very solid fast push. So many splats coming out. I mean, that's 2 more for the Gal, and they are going to push on the side of Difficult now, trying to overturn this penalty time they have.
Halfway through the regular timer as well. Both teams about 30% through. Big penalties on both sides of the map, though. 26 remaining for Rucksack Party and 50 points for Difficult. So even if Difficult captures it now, they still have a big penalty to work to. Crab Tank gets shredded by the Reef Slider. Does get refragged, though. 2 players down on the side of Rucksack Party again. Difficult really found their footing, really found their grounds and pushing it forward and really defending with a lot of might. Rucksack Party is not finding the picks, not finding the paint. But a lot of back and forth battle. Rucksack Party somehow manages to keep that penalty up for Difficult, which is good. Then now 2 players down, though, in the time you might want to have them. That penalty, only 12 seconds remaining. Tactical is out on the field, a heavy edit on the side. Trying to push forward, trades with the pencil. That should have been a clean splat for Rucksack Party. Now the penalty's gone. And now points being scored on the board again. 2 players down. Rucksack Party, you have to go in fast. There goes the 3rd player. Benji in, gets a splatter 2. But it is not enough, only for a neutralization, not for a capture. We started going in, hopefully change that. No, still in the color orange. Difficult is pushing with all the power they have. And with that capture after neutralization, they have KO'd. From a game where we were wondering, where is Difficult, to a game where we're saying, there is Difficult. 1-1 in the losers finals.
Yeah, great response from Difficult in game 2. I believe, I think losers final is counter pick. So, if it is, they went there because they lost game 1, and it was a very good choice for them. If that is the case, just really solid stuff from them. They grouped up a lot better. Rucksack Party, it felt like they lost that coordination a little bit as the timer was going down. Just, I don't know, the players were getting slightly staggered. They only seem to have, 1, 2, or 3 players alive at any point. I don't remember the last time, especially at the end. They never seem to have 4 players alive.
There was always 2, yeah.
Yeah, the edit, as soon as the caller came out, I mean, I can definitely see what they were going for. Once the caller was out, they had to kind of make a play, and it was just, unfortunately for them, they got the trade with the pen. It was very close to a clean kill, but they weren't able to get it, and that was it's not counter picks. There you go. Well, that map for Difficult was very good anyway, so there you go. And we're going to get a very different kind of map now. Rainmaker, Humpback, Pump Track, and I can kind of see both teams liking this, considering how many aggressive, frontline weapons they're bringing to this. I feel like they both might have a good time here.
Oh, 100%. I feel like the Dapples might make a return again because of the map's layout. Although, I think for safety, it is better to switch to the Tetras if you want to have Reslider here on Rainmaker. I feel like the Dapples is a little bit too short range for Humpback Pump Track. But other than that, it's a nice choice. Oh, someone is saying in the top right corner, I don't know who it is, but they're saying it's not counter picks, just gatekeeping.
They are, yeah. I pointed that out. I suggested it might be counter picks, but it's not. It is just a preset map list.
Does Splitting have counter picks only in finals, right?
You know what? I don't even know that. We're great commentators. We do our research here on.
I've been commentating for Dapple for literally a better part of Dapple's lifespan. I honestly no idea what the rules are. This is Splatoon. This is what I love about Splatoon casting. I can just be here, have some fun, and not know anything about the tournament, and yet somehow do a good job. You know what else doing a good job? It is difficult, because they already get the opening splat onto Rucksack Party and are trying to advance, but Rucksack Party this time have a bit of a better response ready, because they put a huge splatter color screen in the center of the map to prevent Difficult from pushing. They didn't care, because they pick up the Rainmaker anyway and are advancing to checkpoint 1. Rio holding onto that Rainmaker with dear life, finding the way to the checkpoint, and Dragon giving up their life to stop that push. Very well done by Difficult, as they now have 3 players down on the side of Rucksack Party.
Dragon doing such a good job there of holding the play up. They got at least a couple of picks, one on the Rainmaker before the check. And Difficult, I mean, they were able to push through, but I think, you know, even though it happened a while ago, Dragon's at least double there with the Gal has done a lot for the team, because Rucksack Party have been able to come back in. They're going to get the burst, at least Difficult. It might be a few more points, but I think they're going to go for some picks here on this platform, try and get something. Benji's actually dropped to mid, but they were collared, so the very fast jump out. But the Crab Tank in a very good position. Never mind, they've just been splattered immediately. That must have been the Blaster or the Gal doing that, or the Tetra. Just nice team play again, and it's going to be a wipeout on the side of Difficult. Now it's Rucksack Party's chance to get this checkpoint, and there is the Reslider ready to go. Of course it's going to come out. Even if it doesn't get anyone, it does force Difficult back. Although someone has actually dropped the Slusher, dropped to mid, and was able to get the rain. And suddenly it's 3 down for Rucksack Party. So I don't think they're going to get the checkpoint yet, Hat.
I don't think either. They have to go really fast. They want to get the checkpoint, but Difficult is very much on the defense. They're trying to pop the Rainmaker. They did pop the Rainmaker. They got 2 players in a row again. Rucksack Party struggling so much. And we see a very aggressive push coming in from Difficult. They are not making it easy. They're not giving it away for free. Rio does get flanked by Multi though. Those Tetra duties did their job. Got splatted in the end, but did what I needed to do. Pop on the side of Rucksack Party so to get some more purple ink onto the board. Trying to get any map advantage they can. Trying to get some bit of an extra special. How not just use their technical, so there's a very good reason for them to be picking up that Rainmaker, opting to go through the side this time, seeing if they can get the checkpoint that way. But oh, that Slusher is on the defense, and that Slusher going to prevent the Rainmaker being pushed forward, and in a very awkward spot for both teams actually. It gets splattered. If Difficult can go in their Conroe, they can have such a huge instant push because of the little block on the right side there.
Yeah, they definitely can. It's an awkward spot for both teams. Medi is auraed, going for something with this. They're also collared, so that means the super jump happens immediately. And we hear more aura coming out again. If someone on your team gets aura, you will hear it. The other team won't. So we're on spectator cam, so we'll hear it whatever happens. But Rucksack Party are able to take the lead. They got the checkpoint there, and they've pushed a few more. And it's only 2 players alive, and Medi is desperately trying to get the Rainmaker there. They do get a pick, but it's not enough. The Rainmaker still pushing forward to 25 for Rucksack Party. They're still jumping in, but nicely punished by Difficult. But they are now the team with a lot to do, pushing to 25. The caller is out, so I can imagine they're going to take aggressive positions very quickly. Suddenly 2 down on Rucksack Party's side. Tri-strikes and splashdown ready to go.
180 dead game, that's for sure, but Rucksack Party yet to wait the reply from Difficult. They're going in so deep. Can they get the Rainmaker in the wipeout? They lost Rainmaker, but there's no one to stop them. And that lead is not just swapped again. It is transformed into a lead of 1. Rucksack Party 180 the game, but for only half a minute. Now they have to KO in order to win. Difficult put themselves in basically the best position they could have put themselves in, other than the knockout. 45 seconds remaining on the clock. No mistakes are allowed. Rucksack Party, if they get wiped out now, they are screwed. And that window is only growing more narrow and more narrow every second we speak. But there is a big push coming. They have a special ready. Can it be enough? Tacticooler, I think it's about to be deployed as well. Multi coming in a little bit deep under. Oh, but the splashdown from underneath Geiki says no. 3 players down. And with that, Conroe, I don't think they're gonna do all too much. Gaku now pushing their Rainmaker forward, trying to put it in a more awkward position, and they did a very good job on that. Overtime will proc if they grab the Rainmaker. Tri-Tracks coming out to delay it a little bit more. Dragon picked it up, but instantly being met with a special medic. And that is game number 3 in the hands of Difficult. That was an amazing push.
It was. That was an immediate response again from Difficult. So many responses coming out from both of these two teams. A lot of back and forth in these games. It's very, very exciting. I'm not sure if the Gal meant to pick up the Rain there. It was kind of, I think they dropped from the plat and the Rainmaker was just there. I can't imagine they would have wanted the 52 Gal picking that up at the end. And Dragon did actually try to take that flank position at the end, but sadly everyone else on the team got taken out, and I think they called out Dragon as well. So they were very Difficult, were very smart to where Dragon was going with the Gal on the flank. But yeah, I mean, I can see why they did it. I mean, you have to push to KO to win the game. You've got to do something like that and just hope that you get away with it. Essentially, pushing to KO against Difficult was always going to be hard, dare I say it. I don't want to say difficult. It's just
say it, Conroe. Say it. Join the Frutella jokes.
KOing against Difficult is difficult. Okay, there you go. make that happy. But it is so Difficult. They were in the winners final. They go down, but they are 2-1 up now in this set. Very close to a chance at a rematch against Internship. It's worth saying as well, these two teams did not meet on the winner's side either, Difficult and Rucksack Party. This is a new meeting in this tournament. It is seed 2 and 3. They lost to the other two teams that we've seen in this tournament. And game 4, Difficult, 1 game away from the grand final, and we are going to go to Clan Blitz on Barnacle and Dime.
Rucksack Party, they cannot afford to make mistakes right now. And, well, Barnacle and Dime Conroe is one of those maps where if you make a singular mistake, it's almost game over.
Yeah,
so
it pretty much
I
is.
am just wondering the amount of pressure that's on Rucksack Party right now, because they know they can't afford a mistake, but they also know that what they're up against is a team where you will inevitably make a mistake against, because they are so warmed up that they are not forgiving at all. We saw what happened in the previous push where Rucksack Party pushed to 25 and then Difficult Soda pushed it to 1. So this team is relentless, and I'm wondering how they're going to show it here on this map mode as well. 2 players down. That's not difficult though. That start is not as we predicted. Dragon going in with a big push with that sub weapon. And now suddenly the power clamp is in the hands of Rucksack Party, who opens within the first 30 seconds and scores a decent amount of points too. 68 is the current score. 4 clamps in their hands. Can they follow it up with a bit of a high score? 68. It's a decent start, but it's not all too much. It looks like they cannot. Their first push, however, did set a score, and sometimes in Clan Blitz that is only enough. Though against Difficult Conroe, I don't think 68 is a score you want to win.
Yeah, only 33 points on the board. Considering that kind of strong start they had, they probably would have wanted more points than that. But it isn't too bad, especially with the amount of picks coming out from both of these two teams. You know, it feels like it's always going to be difficult to get a coordinated push going, because there never seems to be 4 players alive on either team in this, or 8 players alive in the entire game, I should say. It's just a lot of spats coming out, 2 very aggressive teams. And it is Rucksack Party again who are establishing some positions near the basket, and they do break it open. They just about get that pick on the blaster as well, and they are going to push out again now because 2 players are down for Rucksack Party, and Difficult are going to have a lot of clams. Although Multi is kind of attacking their side, they have to do a Multi. They at least get 1 pick, so it's going to slow down Difficult a little bit, but Difficult are still going to at least move up to Rucksack Party's kind of snipe area, trying to get something going. They have the most range in this game as well, of course, with the pen, and now they have a crab tank online as well. But someone has kind of flanked again and managed to get the pen. Neddy's just trying to get something on the crab tank, but not able to, and now they're fighting multi. But they do get the pick. Dragon, again, is just behind them. How does Dragon do this? But they get punished by Splashdown. Are difficult going to be able to set up properly and get some score on the board.
Difficult is sure having a difficult time right now. It's so easy, but at the same time it's so boring. We need a better joke. We need a better joke. Oh, that power climb! Oh, that must have been difficult. Oh, that must have been difficult for them. Dragon, beautiful splat on the sidelines there. Looking at a couple more players. Can they survive? Yes, they can. Opting not to engage in this fight any more than they needed to. Big plays here. Gaku now pushing all those power clamps back for the team. Going in with the blaster, trying to make an opening. There's, I think, about 2 or 3 power clamps on the board. 4 difficult, so they can get a huge push and easily get the lead. Gaku, though, is trying to go in. They are in, ready to jump. Can they make the jump? The Ryu holding on to power clamp number 1. Gets it in. Can they get power clamp 2 in? It's just a blaster left. I don't think they can, and that on the side is a wipe out. The other power clamps still at the basket. Only 80 points have been scored. Only 20 points actually have been scored by difficult Rucksack Party. Very strong on the defense. Not perfect because of discord points, but very strong nonetheless. Conroe, difficult now stuck in their spawn, and this where we somehow see where the mistake or I guess the punishing heavy game of Barnacle Dimes coming into effect.
Yeah, I mean, there's one more power clamp scored, but the edit threw that in and immediately super jumped out. I mean, at least they're going to have all the players around for a defense. I did like when the difficult were wiped out and we had the point of view from Rucksack Party. As soon as they saw that wipeout message they recorded, all 3 of them just rushed towards difficult side. I mean, that tells you exactly how they are playing this game, and difficult aren't too much different, really. They're really trying to get a push going. Now might be the time because there are 2 players down for Rucksack Party. Multi needs this pick on the Gal, but they're not able to get it, or it is a trade at least, but it is the lead. And a lot of points going to difficult, who will be in the grand final if they win this game. Dragon trying to establish position immediately. Suddenly there's going to be a lot of clams on the Rucksack Party's side, so if they win the next team fight, there's a really high chance of them taking the lead back, but they have to do that first against a very oppressive pencil with the most range in this game.
There's also no reason difficult to actually play aggressive at all. All they have to do is defense right now. 30 seconds remaining. Rucksack Party is in a very hard spot. Multi with the crab tank trying to do some damage. Gaku going in. Fighting against Dragon. Dragon opting to go out. Can he get spent? No, they cannot. But there's a big jump on the side. And there goes the power come into the basket. That's 1. The tri-strike. Multi, no! Does get splattered at the end. Does not connect the thing. But there's still a player up there. Can they get the power come in though? No. No, they cannot. They had a golden opportunity to get that lead. The 20 points would have been enough. But not everything is as how they wanted it to be. Overtime does commence. But how long? I feel like half of Rucksack Party kind of gave up. But they somehow got overtime. They have one more chance. Haboun has to go in quickly. They have 3 players under the basket. That was rushing in. They're diving it. Can they get the power come in the basket? No! No, there is a pencil on. Benji does connect it, but too late. No, what? Wait. Time out. How is it? If the power climb is on the thing, does it not just extend overtime?
It does, but you can see the where it says overtime at the top, it is also a timer. So, you know,
No.
there is a timer going.
I know that, but if it's like on the thing, it should extend it, right?
So,
Or is it only when it opens?
so to
It's only when
verify
it
this, it only when it's opened, it can count as an overtime. But when it actually does hit, there is a 2-second buffer basically for the animation to actually load up. If you hear the sound effect to loading up, it is 2 seconds. And if that doesn't load, it doesn't show the animation and the ticker saying that the basket has been opened. If you see that ticker open, that means it is going to be staying open for a little bit more time. If it doesn't open and it doesn't show, it doesn't count.
Oh, that's I feel bad for Rucksack. They had it too. They were almost there, but almost is not enough. As difficult well, having a bit of a struggle in the beginning of this game and having a little bit of a struggle at the end of this game, found a way through. 3-1 difficult is back into the winners finals, having to face the team that knocked them out. Looking for an internship against difficult will be our final match of tonight. But before we go into that, we are going into a small little break to get that set up and running. So grab yourself some drinks, grab yourself some snacks, because we will be right back with more Paddling Pool.
Welcome back, everyone, to Paddling Pool with me, Conroe, and Hat. We are about to get into the grand final of this one, and we are going to see difficult versus looking for 6-month internship. I'm just going to I'm just going to shorten that to internship, so we're not going to be spending ages saying their name. But yeah, Hat, this is the grand final. Internship have not dropped a single game yet, so well, dare I say it, difficult have a difficult road ahead of them.
You did it. You find it. Also on the stream it says internship, and I can assure you it is internship. Also, that 6-month internship might actually be difficult to find here in Splatoon. Might want to make application. Kind of scary, I know. But Lucas Gecko, Kaisha, and Argo against Ryu, Noctis, Phoenix, Medi, and not me. We saw difficult just now. They were wrecking house against Rucksack Party. But now they have to fight against a team that haven't dropped a single game. So I'm interested to see how this rematch is going to go. They faced each other before and they will face each other here again. Hagerfish Mark is the way to go. We already see a pencil and a blaster coming out. Brush on the side of 6 months internship. I'm pretty sure the colors are swapped on the top left. There we go. Now it's right. Brush, interesting choice. It's the hammer. Too nice on the side. Carbon Roller on Gecko as well. We've seen Gecko time and time again. And every time I see the Carbon Roller, I just leave. I just turn on my switch and go do something else. Because that's not a fun Carbon Roller. I know I'm gonna, if they're not on my team, I know I'm gonna lose. I'll just, I'll give up this time. But let's get back into this game. Splat Zones opener for difficult, but not all too much. Looking for inship, got some more points on the board and overtook that lead. 4 players are alive on the field, and that Zuka on the carbon is ready to come through. Now, second that Zuka is activated like right now, is going to wreak havoc with 1 splat only, but still pushing difficult back.
Yeah, that first secret shot from Gecko actually got the pen, and I'm not sure if they were able to get their caller out, and now the carbon is just doing damage against the crab tank, not able to get a second. But yeah, what you said about Gecko, pretty much any player with an SG for squidding good, if you see them, you know you're going to have a rough go at it. But yeah, internship, as I said, they haven't dropped the game. They have players from squidding good, players from new meta, players from dog motif. I mean, we can kind of see why. I'm not sure if it's just a pickup for this tournament, but if it is, it's working very well. But difficult have been able to get back into this one. They're going to avoid a 100-0 KO, and they're in a pretty good position now. All 4 players are alive. The carbon isn't for internship. They're going to have to come back. Having said that, though, internship do have a crab tank and well, the brush had special, but they weren't able to get it up. They do still have crab tank. It is 3v3. The crab is up, but Medi is going to get their crab tank out as well. They have lost 2 players in the meantime. Can they take out this carbon? That is a strange mid-fight, up-close fight there between a crab tank and a carbon, and no one really wins out. Difficult is so close to the lead if they just want to focus on zone, but they were, I mean, they felt like the brush was more important, and you know, they do have a penalty time now, but they have been able to keep internship away, so maybe they can keep this going.
I mean, 45 sticks penalty is not the worst thing in the world, so it's definitely doable. They're looking for a 6 months internship. Might have something to say about that Gecko going in deep. The pencil on both sides is down. The special medical side of difficult is now also gone as well. 3 players down, just the Slosher alive, opting to jump out, not wanting to do with any of that. Rather save the special points. Very good call, but now I see Gecko slurking on the edge. But oh, big splat on the Slosher. Difficult. They only have 26 left to go in before 6 months internship scored some points again. Kai has a very, very defensive position right now. Gecko also with a huge flank. Lulu is their shark as well. It's such a hard time going in. Crab Tank on the defense as well trades with that blaster. 2 players down. They have to go in fast because a lot of points are scored on the board for 6 month internship combo. It's neutral on the zone. It's catch but difficult now, but for how long can they hold it? It's the real question.
Yeah, definitely it is. I was going to say dot motif. It's not dot motif. It's just 1 player from dot motif. Internship were able to get the zone back and push it to 19. And I actually think Kai on the pen is the dot motif player. And of course, they've had a lot of success with. And you know that Kai is very you can put a lot of confidence in Kai on the pen. You know, as good as pen is, you still have to put yourself in a good position. You need to know when to paint and where to position yourself, and Kai is so good at that. And they get another pick, but Difficult are actually very close to the lead if they can keep it up. They lost a player there, but 2 players on the flank. Geku and Lucas coming in from the side. Couldn't be better timed with that one. The Crab Tank is going to go for one more. Geku is able to... Oh, they don't jump out, actually. They're just going to go forward and try and get something here. The splashdown comes out, and now they're in a very important fight. But they get taken out by a teammate, and they get Medi as well. So it's just the Pen who is going to have to back up. Internship back in control, but it hasn't been too comfortable for them. I mean, they are in the lead, but Difficult have definitely come close in this one so far.
They don't have a whole lot of time left. It's only 36 of penalty, and then, what, 19 points? And only 30 seconds left on the regular clock as well, so Difficult. They have to make some risks. They have to push in it's fall in, all in. This is going to be all in. Go to the casino, everything in red. That's what they have to do. They lost a couple players. The penalty is now over. Only 10 ticks remaining on the board. 2 players down outside of the 6-1 initiative. The neutralized zone with cannon captured. That's what we're asking right now. They have tri-strike on the zone, and yes, everything on red did work. They did manage to go in, but they did lose quite a bit of time doing that, and now they have to push through overtime. That penalty will basically be gone the second that 6-1 initiative can go in, but they have nothing. They cannot afford a single mistake. They cannot have a single error. 2 players down on the side of Difficult 6-1 internship. Difficult also lost a couple players. They have only a couple ticks remaining, so they get the lead. It's Gecko with the slosher in the zone, but I think there's enough paint on the zone. It's neutral with 1 tick remaining. Difficult now having to do everything to paint it, but 6 months internship finds a way in the nick of time with a single point remaining. It is looking for a 6-month internship to get game number 1.
Wow, what a close game. I suggested earlier they were looking for an internship on, Sendo, with Sendo on Sendo.inc. Maybe that's why they've come here with that name. Looking for that on, just working on the website. Why not make the website amazing? Well, it already is Sendo, don't worry. But anyway, game 1 of Grand Finals. Extremely close. It really did look like Difficult might do it, but they lost 2 players as they got to 20 points. And yeah, these two teams... I think they did fight. These 2 teams did fight in. It was winners final, wasn't it? And it was 3-0 to Internship. And I think this is the closest game we've seen between them. I mean, winners finals. I don't think Difficult came too close, but they immediately did here. Internship just saved by a couple of picks, but they do get away with it. They do go 1-0 up. They are on the winner's side of the bracket, so they only need to win this set, and then they will take the tournament. And we do go to game 2 now, which is Clan Blitz on Inkblot Art Academy, which is definitely an interesting map, this one. Not too many ways to where the basket is. Well, there's 2 ways. There's as there always is Splatoon 3. You've either got 1 or 2 ways. You don't get more than that. You're not.
There's the right way and there's the hard way.
Yep.
And I feel like this map, these 2 teams, it's only the hard way. There's no easy way. If you go the easy way, the right way, there is Gecko literally shitting on you. And if you go the hard way, there is still Gecko. But at the same time, that also is the same for Gaku, who do literally the same thing against you. So it doesn't really matter where you do it. You have to make sure you have 3 players down in order to start pushing. 2 players down early on the side of Internship, though. Difficult is getting a very decent head start on there. Also, a lot of clams on the board. And Tech Cooler is out there as well. So they're having a decent start. But it's not enough. This map is very slow for Clamless. Even though it's short and can snowball like crazy, getting the opening is honestly quite difficult. Because, like you said, both routes are very hard to get into. Difficult now losing 2 players and a decent amount of clams. It's literally swapped, mirroring each other's place. 8 clams on the side of Difficult, 10 clams on the side of 6-month internship. But 6-month internship is not doing that great of a job in the aggressive side.
Yeah, I mean, they do have the ink brush for this one, which is probably kind of, out of all the weapons in this game, probably the best one for just sneaking in some kind of push. You always have to watch out for the ink brush. Even they could get splattered and they will be immediately back, and we will see Lucas doing probably the same kind of thing all game, just running around distracting difficult players, even if they're not able to get a pick. See, that crab tank from Medi, they have to focus on Lucas, and they're still not able to get them, really. So many players just focused on Lucas, who actually almost got their Ultra Stamp off there, but they do get punished. But, you know, difficult clear that out, but they're not really able to get anything in the meantime. They're still just backed up on their plat. And now,
it's down low.
Going to get taken out, and surely this has got to be a score of some kind for internship. There's going to be a power clam. It is going to be points on the board.
It's a bit late though for the power clam, if you ask me.
It did take him a while to get that one, I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna cost him, you see. Only 1 point out of the power clam scored actually for 6 months. That's not that great. That's a bit of a waste of push, if you ask me. They had the opportunity, but they just kind of reacted a little bit too slow for that, especially because that Neo Splash had 7 or 6 clams already, and the clams were right there. Gecko took that a little personally and started going quite aggressively, but for what reason? Do you only have 4 clams on hand? There is nobody out there collecting clams as well. Bit of a wasted special, if you ask me, and now difficult, almost free to get clams on the board and get ink on the board. Gecko did respawn quite quickly though because of the tactical cooler and is pushing forward heavily, trying to get some more splats onto the board, but it's really turning into a splash match. But look at that, Gondro, 3 players down instead of difficult. This might just be the push that Internship was looking for.
Definitely the tri-strikes coming out from difficult just to try and delay this push, but it's not quite enough. I mean, they get the basket open, but again, they're not able to score too many, although Lucas has the Ultra Stamp out, and they do get one. I don't know if they're going to keep the basket open, but it is at least going to slow down Difficult's recovery there. Gecko gets in and gets a splat as well, so Difficult just not quite able to get back into this one. They have a lot of clams on the well, they have 2 power clams, and they have the slosher holding a few as well. So if they are somehow able to break through, that is enough clams to just suddenly take the lead. But are they going to be able to do that? It's so difficult to do. Gecko sneaks up on the crab tank with Carbon again. I feel like they've done that so many times in this set already. 3 players down for difficult. They are just finding it so difficult to handle. Both the brush and the Carbon is just so much, you know, frontline, so much sneaking around, and they're just not able to deal with it properly, you know. So this 44 points from Internship might be a commentator's cast coming up. I was about to say it might be enough, but they are starting to lose some players here. The strikes coming out though, and Difficult have just got to coordinate and get something going here. They have the map advantage. They have the clams. Are they going to be able to get a push?
Well, they have the tactical cooler ready, they have the power clam in the basket, it is open, but how many points can they follow up with? 71 is the current score, 68-65, they might actually have a chance to lower it down even further. They have the clams on the board, but they lost the players, unfortunately. 56-65, it's almost there. Numbers look the same, if you ask me. It's a pretty decent push, but not yet enough. And the power clam also won't do the trick. Just now 40 seconds remaining for difficult to get another power clam on the board and to get that into the opposing side's basket. They might have a little bit extra time because the pity clam overtime will proc, but will it matter is the real question. Difficult, not looking too hot right now. 2 players down, so the Internship though. The power clam can be picked up. Trade between 2 players down on the side of Internship. Difficult if there's the moment to push. That moment is now. Tactical is out on the field as well. 15 seconds on the clock before overtime. Neither team has a player down. Neither team is giving up. They're all giving their full potential right here. They're not slowing it down. Gecko playing very defensively. They're playing a passive playstyle, waiting for the right opportunity to strike the right player. Only 1 power clam active on the side of difficult. Kai looking over the map, trying to close any openings they find. And suddenly, 3 players down and a delayed wipe on the side of difficult. Where they were having a chance, it slipped away. 6 months Internship with a 9-point lead takes game number 2 and puts themselves in match point status already.
Yeah, another really good game from them. It just seemed like whenever there would be an opportunity, they would just get shut down by Gecko on the Carbon or Lucas on the brush. I mean, even at the end as well, we were kind of focused on the overview of the map and where Kai was standing on the pen, but the people on the players on difficult side, Gecko and Lucas were just rushing them down, and they just basically got a wipeout, I think, between the 2 of them, basically. I mean, one of them tried to push the basket, gets taken out, and then we just pan over and Gecko and Lulu are just there by the power clam carrier. And that is, it's another great reason to have a brush in this mode. It's not just it's not just for running towards the other team's basket for your push, it's also that they can just run over to where the defensive kind of power clan carrier for the other team is standing, because we see super jump pushes all the time in Clan Blitz, and Ink Brush is just perfect for going over there and stopping that, because they are very difficult to shoot, as we saw from Difficult there. I mean, they were really struggling to shoot Lucas there, even though they were all kind of looking at where Lucas was. And yeah, just really good coordination again from 6 Month Internship, and they are going for a full clean sweep of this tournament if they win this game. They would not. They haven't dropped a game yet, so they only need if they win this one, it is clean sweep and without any game losses at all. Difficult, on the other hand, have to essentially win 3 in a row to reverse sweep this set, and then have to beat them in the next set as well. So yeah, I mean, if we're going to make the play on words again, this is the time. They are living up to their team name as of this moment.
They have to get a bit of a reverse sweep in there. But I think they're like pretty decently matched. I think the problem Difficult as right now is looking for Internship. They have Gecko and Lucas that can open in, and they can open in so incredibly aggressive that there's no way that Difficult has time to respond, because they just don't have that amount of speed on their team. Their team is a lot slower, and even now, switching to the Splattershot Pro, it's even more slower. So I'm wondering how what their thought process is behind this. Anyway, Rainmaker popped by Difficult, so they have that going for them, meaning the top is blue, which is nice, and they got rid of the sniper too, which is also great because it allows them to go in a little bit deeper than it otherwise would have had. Lulu also got splatted. Early checkpoint actually on the side of Difficult, so Conor, I don't know what you did, I don't know what you said to them, but they are taking your comments seriously, and they're making work out there. Ooh, big hammer though on that Rainmaker. That was personal.
It really was. Now, there has been one quite significant change in comp, which, to be honest, I think we've seen the results of already. They no longer have the crab tank. I was going to say they really need to stop getting caught out by the carbon on that crab tank. Don't know how, but it kept getting caught out. The carbon was just there to shut it down straight away. But they've moved to the Pro with Splat Bomb and missiles. It's and I can really see it working against this. It's got that range to deal with carbon and brush, which is probably better. They don't quite have to go as close to the other team's ink. And if the Pro spots the carbon from long range enough, the Pro is just going to win that fight every time. Plus, they have missiles. You've got 2 players, or at least the carbon especially. They're going to shark. They probably have Ninja Squid equipped. Sorry, I didn't actually notice if they did or not. But either way, they are going to be sharking a lot, and missiles just points them out immediately. And as we see from this game, 1 minute and 30 in, Difficult have pushed it down to 32, and they don't seem to be slowing up. They just seem to be taking better positions with this new weapon comp.
I forgot to mention that Looking for Internship hasn't even scored a single point as of yet. We are currently watching them trying to get in, but also being denied every single time. There's just a lot of defensive plays coming out of the side of Difficult right now. They're sure to make it difficult for 6 Month Internship to get some points on the board after what happened in the previous 2 games. The Rainmaker finally got splatted after a decent amount of time, and that's a big moment for Difficult. Not just because it's almost wasted a full minute of game time on the side of 6 Month Internship, but also because they can get a huge amount of turf right now. Lulu trying to flank, but got spotted and got splatted. Difficult is looking to get another pick. Another pick they found. Gecko is down as well. Tacticooler out on the field, boosting everyone's forward. That swim speed and the paint buff is primarily important. Can they find a way to go in deeper though? Kai is looking at the sniper there and is denying. Gecko also getting rid of everyone in their spawn, forcing them out and back into the opposing side spawn. Difficult, almost all of them are back in the beginning of the map. Big super snipe by Gecko. Another one down as well, allowing 6 Internship to take that checkpoint convo. And now they are suddenly in a very good spot to take the lead.
They are, and it is going to be the lead. Wow, that was a callback to a different era of Splatoon 3. Just try Zuka basically turning the game around. We used to see that a lot more than these days, but it does still happen. Just 2 Zuka shots getting 2 huge picks for Gecko on the carbon. The main weapon has been struggling a bit more this game, but the Zuka still gets the job done. Internship take the lead now Difficult have to overturn this with a minute and a half left to keep this tournament alive. The Brush doesn't... Oh, wait, they go down to someone else. Okay, but they do get the Rainmaker, so that's immediately going to slow things down. The Difficult splashdown coming out. Gecko does go down. These three players are really bunched up now. If the Blaster Gecko is able to get one, and they do, they know where the Brush is. But the Brush... Oh no, the Brush has gone... What happened to the Brush? I thought they were going to go down. But instead, they've taken out the Rainmaker and two more players. They are Aura'd, they are Cooled, they have Ultra Stamp ready, and they are just going to fully charge at Difficult after that incredible play.
Peak Brush gameplay, 6 months internship, already back on the offenses, not wasting any time. It's not like gonna have that much left anyway, but they might as well use it to the fullest. They're trying to get that full lossless battling pool. They're keeping it in a very awkward spot because they only have, what, like 12 ticks left. They have no way to, or 20 ticks left. They have no way to push back in. That Rainmaker is splattered. That Rainmaker is gone. But so is the clock on the side of difficult. It is 30 seconds left, and they have 2 players down. There's no way in. And this guy who's still alive, getting rid of the 3rd player, Gecko, pushing in alongside him as well. 16 seconds left. The Rainmaker's in an awkward spot. There's almost nobody down on the field. There's almost nothing the Difficult can do. They have to pop the Rainmaker and the push in, but honestly, I don't think they're gonna make it anymore. We see the Rainmaker being contested. We see that shield being fought over, but it is not enough. Difficult didn't find a way. They were put in a very difficult spot in the end because looking for a 6-month internship, just lossless battling pool to become your 355 edition champions.
Wow, what a turnaround that they had that game. I hope they all get their internship somewhere, wherever they're looking, because they deserve it after that. Difficult definitely brought it out of the gate better in that game. I mentioned the comp change. The Pro definitely seemed to be working better for them early on with the missiles and the extra splat bomb. They already had point sensors from the custom blaster, so they had a much better time kind of early on dealing with the shenanigans of the Carbon and the Brush. But it was just a couple of, you know, big plays, big kill streaks coming out from first the Carbon with the Zuko. I mean, that was so huge for internships push where they did overtake the lead, just getting 2 really important ones. And then the Brush, when Difficult had another chance to push, the Brush was kind of on the dome area, and they just dropped and got 3. I don't really know how it happened, but that was pretty devastating for internship, and that I think that ended up being their last attempt at a push. And you know, even though that Rainmaker there for internship at the end of the game did kind of explode on the grates. The grates is such a difficult place to recover the Rainmaker from, and that's probably why they decided to put it there, because it was so hard for I don't want to say so hard for difficult to get the Rainmaker from that kind of position.
Yeah, looking for a second internship really did that beautifully, but also not even just putting it there because it's an awkward spot to grab, it's also just wasting time because it's a hard spot to get to regardless. Even when you're fighting a Rainmaker, it's such an annoying spot to push through. Also, just see Lulu here with that Brush. When we thought they could splat it, suddenly getting a triple splat, turning this game fully around. Oh, Difficult had 1 push, but 1 push was not enough, especially with the amount of time or power that looking for a 6-month internship is throwing at them. And yeah, we saw the players who were in the team. We saw where they're coming from, or where they've played. Like, it's a very, very hard team to fight against. So I don't think Difficult should be disappointed for that result, because I still think getting 2nd here and not getting absolutely shredded is still a very decent result. And they got a huge comeback against Rucksack Party. We should not forget the top 3 seeding. Also shout out to our seeder, because the top 2 seed very, very well, almost very well predicted. 1, 2, 3 is well, and 1, 2, 3, but not in the exact spot. But Congo, I think with that, our short casting kind of comes to an end. With almost one of the shortest Panic Pool streams we've ever had.
yeah, it has been. I think there weren't as many teams as we normally see for this one. There's a lot of I think big stuff happening in Splatoon. It's a big weekend this week. The Looty season is coming soon, and Fluty, as we call it, is this weekend as well. So we'll probably see a lot of players kind of come together for Looty, and a lot of people will be preparing for all of that as well. I always find Looty very fun. But yeah, this one, and of course we started a bit later tonight as well. So yeah, Dapples, it was a very quick stream, but it was a fun one. Hat, thank you very much for joining me for this one. And let everyone know where they can find you on the socials as well.
Well, I don't really use that many social anymore, but follow me on Blue Sky or Twitter. It's at Gasterhat, or Blue Sky. It has like the little BSKY behind it. I don't really use social that much, but maybe I'll post something someday. But Conroe, where can I find you?
Yeah, you can find me at conroespl.bsky. It is on the screen, I believe, and also on Twitch. It is just CONRO, just Conroe on Twitch. I do stream there sometimes. I've been looking to stream a little bit more, and if I do play in Looty as well, which I'm hoping to, I'll stream those games as well. So yeah, I'd love to catch you people there. But yeah, Blue Sky, Conroe SPL, I am there.
So everyone, thank you so much for watching. Before we go, shout outs to Jorian, who's been doing the first bit of casting before I was there, and also helping us with some beautiful advice. If Jorian wants to share their socials on screen or just yell at us, feel more than free. Our lovely, lovely, hardworking streamer who's always ready. Oh, he's about to raid. Okay, he's about to raid. So before we go,
He's already pressed. He's already raided.
oh wait, you did.
Yeah, the VOD will save.
The will be saved. Shout outs to the viewers. See you next week. Bye.
Bye, everyone.